guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Also welcome back to my nice pink chair. I feel like this is my new spot. I've decided that this is it. This is the new YouTube spot, so I hope you all like it. So I'm having a very lazy Saturday night and I was like, I really want to film something, but I was like, do I put makeup on? Like, and I was honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I was just being so lazy and I was like, I can't really be bothered, but I was like, do you know what I'm gonna film? Because I haven't filmed one in a while. I wanted to film kind of one of my advice videos, because I feel like in the last sort of like 6 months I have just learned so much about kind of like my life and my career and where exactly I want to be like heading. Some really big life changes are happening this year. I've taken some kind of like big leaps and have said no to a lot of things, which has been a scary kind of thing for me to be in, but I have had to say no to these things to kind of do what I think are much bigger things. And this would all be coming to light in probably about May this year, and I'm so excited because it's been stuff I've been working on for ages, so I'm really excited to actually share it with you all. But that aside, I'm just thinking about how like my life is changing and the different things that's going on with my career and just, you know, life in general. So I thought I would film a things I would tell my younger self video, because there is so much that I've learned obviously over the 5 years of having this kind of like blog and social channels and all this kind of stuff, and just little things that if I'd known this when I was younger, I just would never have been as stressed as I was back then, because I remember thinking that everything was just the absolute end of the world when I was younger. So I thought if I film this video, then it might help some of you guys if you're feeling the way that I might have felt when I was younger, and also just to kind of have a bit of a chit chat really. So first thing I would tell my younger self is that life is good. Not always, but most of the time it is good. And the lows that you go through in your life, I think are sort of there to make you really appreciate the highs. You know, we all go through stuff that at the time we just think that it's the worst thing that can be happening to us. And I think that actually when you do hit a really low point in your life, I actually think you should almost be grateful for it, because when you are really happy and in a really good place, it makes you appreciate that sort of even more. So I think it's quite a nice way to kind of look at any low points in your life, to know that if it's at a low, it can only go up. So yeah, I would literally tell myself to not worry so much, because life is majority of the time very good. So the second one would have to be appreciate your parents, because 100% of the time they are just looking out for you and they have only your best interests at heart. I mean, I remember the endless hours of arguing I would do with my mum over the most petty of things, and now she is one of my favourite human being, you know, and someone that I look up to and respect so much for what she's achieved in her life, and how she, you know, she's dealt with different things and situations that have come her way when life's not always been easy for us as a family. And I just think, you know, if I'd known just how much I would appreciate the relationship that I have with her now, I just wish I'd known that when I was younger, because I was such a dick to my mum and my dad. I was awful. I literally was such a brat. And it just makes me so angry as I sit here now as like, what, almost 25, of the years of just shit I used to put her through. And I just wish I'd known to just appreciate everything that they have done for me and will do for me. So it's good to kind of know that now, to just know that your parents will always be your #1 fans and always have your back 100%, and literally just want the best for you at all times. So third thing is, I would say, I think it's a really good thing that we don't actually always know what is going to happen to us. I remember when I was younger, like I always just used to want to have like a magic ball to just see the future, because, you know, the future is scary and the unknown is scary, but actually, no, not knowing where I was going, I feel like that's the excitement in life, that you kind of don't know. Like, I don't even know where I'm going to be in 6 months time. I don't know where I'll be this time next year, but actually the ride and the journey in between that is kind of the fun of it. So even though sometimes I wake up in the morning, I still do it now, like, and I'm like, I wish I knew exactly where I was going to be. It's quite fun to think I'm actually going to enjoy the journey of getting there, wherever there might be. So the next thing I would have told my younger self is to push yourself out of your comfort zone more, because that is where all of the good things come from. I was such kind of like a creature of habit, was very kind of like, I don't know, I just had like a bit of a routine, and actually the moment that I stepped out of any routine I had and really kind of like went for it, that was when amazing things started happening in my life, when I kind of literally everything was outside of my comfort zone. So that's one thing that, and I'm such a preacher of that now. I'm such like that quote that nothing good ever comes from your comfort zone, and it really, really doesn't. Because when I think about how I've got to where I am in my life and my career, everything I've got is because I've had to either like risk something or just put myself out there, when actually people were either going to think, what the hell is she doing, or this is weird, or dealing with so many people's opinions. But all the best things, as I say, have come from pushing myself out of my comfort zone. So the next one I think would apply definitely to my teenage younger self, is that you're not the only person in the world that feels this way, whatever this way happens to be. So, you know, like when you're having the shittest time with a boy, or whether you feel like you've got so much stress on because of work or exams, or do you know what I mean, just things that are really getting on top of you. I wish I'd known that I was not alone, and that actually everyone feels that way at some point in their life. Because now when I'm older and I talk to my friends about, like, you know, scenarios that happened when we were younger, they were like, oh my god, I had exactly the same problem. Or it's just nice to know that normally if you ever have a massive problem or you feel really shit about something, it's actually a good thing to kind of like voice those opinions, because 9 times out of 10 that you will always find someone who is going through something similar or has been through something similar. So I think I wish I'd just been a bit more sort of like open to talking about my problems, rather than holding them in and just getting like really uptight and angry and upset about them. So next would have to be, you do not know everything, Sarah. I honestly used to think I just knew absolutely everything. I was like, I mean, typical teenager. I just thought I had all the answers to absolutely everything. And then as I was getting older, I was like, wow, I really actually just don't understand much at all. Like, some of the things that you do when you're younger just absolutely baffle me. Like the stories that I've got about, like, when we all used to, I mean, you guys probably did it as well, when you'd sneak out of your house to go to like field parties and you wouldn't tell your parents where you were going. Or you'd lie and you'd say you were going to like the cinema, and you'd literally be sitting in a field drinking probably a mixture of whatever you could get from your parents' alcohol cabinet. Mine was normally like literally orange juice was the base of this like drink. Well, thinking about it makes me feel sick. It had like whiskey and gin, because they were my parents' two like go-to drinks. So it was always whiskey and gin, and then probably maybe a bit of vodka if it was lying around. I mean, that just makes me feel so ill. The fact that I used to sit there and drink that and thought that was a good idea, while my parents had no idea where I actually was, that baffles me. Like, that actually baffles me. But as I said, when you're younger, you think you know everything, and you think that that is the normal thing to do, and that you are absolutely invincible, but you're not. So the next thing is, life has a funny way of working things out. And I think that's just so true. Like, so many things I've stressed about over the years, they always seem so insignificant. Nothing has ever been that bad that it's kind of impacted my life like any further than maybe like a month on from the thing I was worrying about. Do you know what I mean? And life just does. I feel like one of the, actually it's probably like the next thing that I would say would be that nothing heals the past more than time. And like, that is something that I've massively realised, that just give everything time, because no matter what it is that you might be going through, or no matter what it is that you're like, whether it's you're suffering, you know, work stress, or with stress with a relationship, whether that be with a boyfriend or a girlfriend or friends, you know, things always get better with time, and you need to give yourself time to heal, and also just for life to kind of work things out. And it really genuinely does. And I think it's like important to kind of like trust the process and know that wherever you're going is where you're meant to be. The next one, I would have to say, this one's just throw it out there because it's quite funny. Concealer lips do not look good. And why we ever thought they looked good, I just don't know. I honestly used to use, you know, Benefit Cosmetics and Raise Paste, which is obviously that like heavy duty industrial strength concealer. I used to use shade number 1, and honestly would apply it like a lip balm on my lips. I mean, I think I should do a makeup tutorial of all the stuff I used to do to my face when I was younger, because I just, honestly, that and some Dream Matte mousse, some really horrendous eyebrows probably, and a really dodgy wing was probably my go-to look. Oh, and obviously like a massive comb over and like back brush to like the high heavens, and some awful clip-ins. But you know, gotta go through these stages, you know, gotta have the glow up really to appreciate yourself a bit more. That being said, I will actually put in here a photo. I'm gonna do, I don't know which one this is gonna be. I mean, while it's here, you guys will now find out, but I'm thinking, what's the worst one I can put in this video? I might even put in a couple, because my transition from like 16 to where I am now is quite drastic. A lot of people are shocked when they find out that this is what I used to look like. Okay, one of the other things I would absolutely tell my younger self is he is not worth it. The amount of boys that I used to cry myself to sleep over, I mean, I can't even begin to tell you. Like, honestly, I got mugged off so much when I was younger. I literally must have had mug written on my forehead because I just had no luck in relationships and men, honestly, probably up until about Joe, really. That's why I think I appreciate the relationship and the, like, just the mutual respect we have for each other in my relationship now, because it's just so refreshing to me that there are good men out there, if that makes sense. But I look back on the times that I was so upset over boys, and I'm just like, how did I waste that much time worrying about someone that is now honestly like a stranger to me? Like, these people I don't even, honestly couldn't even tell you what they were doing. I'd have no idea. And it's just mental that you spend, but we all do it. I mean, we've all been there, and you might be doing it currently, and I know at the time it feels like the end of the world, believe me, I know. But if it's something that's making you feel so shit, it means that it's not meant for you, it's not good, so it's not going to be what actually you end up with, because life will make sure that's not what you end up with, because, you know, as I said, trust the process and something better is there for you. And I now know that more than ever, and it's like, just don't waste the time because he is not worth it. This one I actually think is quite funny. So the other thing I would tell my younger self is that your mum was right. You will eventually wear less makeup. Mum used to say this to me all the time. She was like, you wear so much makeup. Like, when you're older, you just won't wear half the amount. You'll probably be more comfortable without makeup on. I used to think, I am never, ever leaving the house unless I have probably like 4 different sets of lashes on, like foundation that was probably darker than like a packet of Watsits. Like, honestly, it was not a good look. And I just remember thinking that's never gonna happen. And now I'm honestly more comfortable with just no makeup, like this now, just like no makeup, just chilling. This is my like kind of happy place. This is where I feel my best. It's why I love being away on holiday, because I actually prefer myself kind of just with like fresh face. It's more, personally for me, it's just a favourite of mine, and it baffles me because Mum knew all along. She knew, she really did. So lastly, and to kind of like round this video up, I think I kind of touched on this earlier, but I'd probably say that like everything that happens to you in your life is leading you to exactly where you want to be. So as I say, guys, trust the process that is going on in your life right now, and just trust that you are going to end up exactly where you are meant to be. And I feel like as long as you do trust that process and you enjoy the ride, I feel like in this day and age we can all get so consumed with kind of like, you know, social media and comparing ourselves with others, comparing our lives with others, especially, you know, being so busy at work that we just actually forget to really just enjoy living and enjoy the ride. Because one thing, I think I said this in my New Year video, that it's scary just how quickly time goes. I mean, we're all basically already in April, really. I mean, we've got what, probably about a week and a bit left of March. The fact that we're already in April just baffles me, and I just think it's so important to just enjoy life because it's gonna be over before we know it. Which I know is kind of a depressing thought to leave this video on, but if you kind of take it in a positive way, then it is a positive thought to leave this video on. But no, I know this is kind of like a little bit of a random video, but I wanted to film something. I didn't want to just go like another week without uploading anything, because I'm actually I'll be in Thailand when this video goes up, so I didn't want to leave you guys for too long. So I hope you've enjoyed this little random Saturday night with Sarah. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this, and let me know below any of the things that you would tell your younger self, because I would love to know. Even if it's things like about the concealer lips and the products you used to use, because I just love finding out what people used to do, because 9 times out of 10 people know about that Dream Matte Mousse. They were there. They were all there living for it. So anyway, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.